friends, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're building in Sulani and we are building on one of the 30 by 30 lots. And so it's pretty small, but as you could probably already tell from the thumbnail, today we're building a house for a conservationist sim, which is one of the careers that came with the Island Living pack. And I will try to remember to put the inspiration picture on the screen where you guys can kind of see what I was going for or like why I was doing some of the things I was doing. I'm usually really bad about that and I completely forget, but I'm going to try to put it on there for this video because this is a little bit of a weird house. But basically, we have lots of round shapes, and you can tell from the inspiration picture, it's just kind of layered on top of each other, very uneven. But it's kind of got this like grungy look, and so that's why I wanted to build it for like a conservationist sim. Because it looks really natural and kind of just like it's been left alone, maybe. I don't know, but that's kind of just what popped into my head, so I just went with it. But as you can tell, we have lots of circles and like rounded decks, and I don't normally have trouble with that. When I actually was playtesting this build, it did not go well at all. Basically, all the ladders that you'll see placed throughout this build, they just weren't functioning at all, and I could not figure out why. I just couldn't figure out any of it. So basically, I just had to scrap most of them and just add in different ladders in different places, or just like one place I just had to add stairs completely, and I don't know why it was an issue, but it was. And I use a lot of debug items in this build, so that may be why. Maybe there were just some items that were conflicting with what I was trying to do and I didn't realize it. But right now we're just building basically the exterior. So you can see we use the windows to kind of form a half circle. It's not really a perfect circle because I wanted to have some like deck space, so it's not perfect, but yeah. And then the other item is from the debug menu. I think it's like part of a fence, but I'm not sure, but it's kind of got like a little concrete kind of stone look, so I wanted to go with it, and it freely rotates, so I didn't have to use the tool mod, but I did use the tool mod for the windows, and of course, as usual, I use the tool mod very often. So yeah, and I think I've done this in one build before, so I will say it again just in case you guys didn't see that, but I learned how to do the circular windows from a tutorial on Kate Emerald's channel, so I will put that in the description box if you guys are interested in that. And so as you can see, I skipped a lot of footage because basically it was just me placing windows and placing debug items, and it was really boring and it took a little while. So, we went on and skipped through that part of it, but I want to talk about you can see on the first two floors on the very top, there's like this weird like dark circle thing, and basically what that is a debug item, and I just needed something to cover up the like ceilings because I was dealing with the rounded decks, and I don't know about anybody else, but the rounded decks are absolutely infuriating to me. I struggle so badly to get them to do what I want them to do. I feel like there's so many restrictions with them, and maybe I just don't know how to do it. But yeah, so I needed something to cover up those like ceilings so it wasn't just open. And so I used this debug menu item, like sized it up really big, and then used the tool mod to push it down to where it wasn't showing over the floor. But yeah, basically this house isn't really, I guess, a house. If you have seasons, you probably don't want to play with this house because the weather, I think, would definitely affect your Sims. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure it would. But yeah, so as you can tell, that's the exterior of the house. It looks big, but it's pretty small. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. So you could change some stuff around and add more bedrooms if you wanted to, maybe. But it's pretty small. And another thing about actually playing with this house, like I said, play testing was very difficult. But I think similar to my modern gym, which in that case it was like actual roofing, but in this case it's a lot of debug items that are like you'll see we'll start placing some vines in a little while, and they kind of overhang into the room, and because they're an item, you can't like make them go away, I guess. And so sometimes it's frustrating to actually be able to see what you are looking for. But we're just finishing up the outside now, and another thing that I was going to mention was the little walkway you can see is kind of made of like the black volcanic rock looking things. So with the walkway, I wanted it to look really natural, and I wanted to use something that from the debug menu that the Sims could walk over. And that sounds simpler than it actually was. I had tested a few things and tried a few things out, and I thought I knew what I was going to do. And then when I actually did it, I didn't like how it looked, and it didn't work as well as I wanted it to. So what I really wanted to do after the first thing was I wanted to try to use that like raft item that's in the debug menu from Island Living. And I've seen other people use it, and it just works just fine, but my Sims wouldn't walk over it at all. So I left that out and I didn't do it. It looked a lot better than the black rock, but it wasn't functional, so I just went on and left it out. But probably if you actually wanted to play with this build, you would want to use the teleportation cheat quite often, because it, like I said, it's really frustrating. But now we're just adding in these vines. You can see we've added in a little bit of decoration, like colors. Some of that I delete, but like I said, I wanted it to just look really natural, like maybe even like part of the area. And so we leave most of the vines. We add in a few more. You can see we added in a few different ones from the debug menu also. But yeah, basically I felt like it needed something. It just looked really, really bare and plain kind of, out there. And usually in my Island Living builds, I use lots of color. And with this build, I just didn't feel like I said, I wanted it to look really natural, and then the kind of landscaping kind of overshadowed the actual house. So that's why I added in a lot of vines and stuff like that. So this is the first floor, and we're just making this into the kitchen, and it's super small. This is the kitchen area, and then on the other side of the wall is going to be it's not actually a small dining area. It's pretty big because it's 2 dining tables, but the kitchen's pretty simple. I mean, it's just a normal kitchen. We've got all the necessities. We'll add a sink in later. That may have been one of the things that I realized later on that I needed to add. But we're just going to add in a bunch of clutter just to kind of add some decoration. And yeah, like I said, this is pretty much just a simple kitchen. On the other side, we're going to add in like an island and some more plants and clutter and stuff like that, just to give it a little bit more character. And yeah, like I said, I play tested all of this. It is functional. The kitchen is functional. The kitchen was like the first thing that I play tested, and it just was a sign of things to come, because I struggled to figure out why my Sim wouldn't use it, and it was actually because I sized up those lots, which when I sized them up, I looked and I felt like there was plenty of room, but there wasn't. So this build probably has more changes than my builds normally do when I add it to the gallery. Usually there's always a few changes to the gallery just because I playtest after I get done recording, and then I try to fix anything that's not functional. But this build, there was a lot of issues. So there's a lot of just like minor changes. The biggest changes are like the ladders and the stairs and all of that. But like I said, if you actually wanted to play with this, you want to use the teleportation cheat as often as possible. Now we're just doing this little dining area, and yeah, it's really simple. I wanted to have a little bit of color. I kind of bounced back and forth on the color schemes in this build. Like, I started out with kind of a darker thing going, you can tell, in the kitchen, and then, I don't know, there's just, sometimes I struggle with the Island Living stuff to find things that match all the other items, if that makes sense. Like, it seems like there's 2 different sets of colors, and not every item has like the really dark colors also, so which I get, because Island Living is a very like bright and light kind of thing, but there's a little bit of like weirdness with the color schemes. And at first I wanted to kind of go with a green theme, but just basically, like I said, green wasn't always available, so I just kind of went with whatever. I was pretty like, I felt pretty bad about this build at this point. I had come to a certain point before I added in the vines that I actually thought about just scratching it. But I had been working on it for quite a while, and I didn't want to do that, so I went on and finished it out. This isn't one of my favorite builds. I wasn't like totally in love with how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoy it though. It's a little bit different, and I like to do things that kind of make me think and make me try harder. But now we're just adding in this first bedroom, and this is the bathroom that goes with that bedroom, and it's pretty small, as you can tell. And I didn't add walls because at some point in the building, every time I would try to add walls, the like rocks underneath my walkway were disappearing, and I didn't want that to keep happening. So because I use the tool mod a lot with that, even though it's so easy, it's not hard at all to use it. I just had done it like 3 times and I was just over it. So I don't think I add any more walls to this build. Basically, I just used dividers like this one, and I used a bunch of bamboo from Spa Day. And that's another thing. This build uses Island Living and Spa Day. That's all. It's a pretty limited build. And yeah, so like I said, this is the first bedroom. This has got like the double bed. The other bedroom has a single bed because I kind of like had it in, I don't know, I kind of had like not a single parent, maybe a single parent, but basically like a kid. So I went on and put a single bed in, but like more like a teenager because I didn't add in any children stuff. So I don't know why I struggle more with the kid stuff than anything else, but this is the other bedroom. This is the single bed, and I wanted to just give like there's not a lot of like clutter that came with the Island Living, and there didn't seem to be a whole lot of like rewards from the conservationist career. So I basically just added in like lots of plants and cameras, and yeah, you can tell I added in a little bit of cameras and just some pictures that kind of come from in the game, like different areas in the game and stuff. So yeah, this bedroom's pretty simple, and you can tell that I cut that bathroom out because we just decorated a bathroom, and as usual I had way too much footage and I wanted to make the video a little bit shorter. So we did cut that bathroom out, but this does have 2 bathrooms, and that's going to end up connecting this part of the house with the other part of the house. Originally it didn't. There was like a full wall there, but like I said, I had to change a few things. It was just really, it was a lot. But yeah, basically we're going to go into this next area. I added like patio furniture and stuff, but I didn't want to like overdo it. There was already a lot going on kind of on the outside of this house. But we're going to go to the next little area that's on this floor. And this is like a living area. There's some bookcases, some like seating, TV. I cut some of that footage out too. Yeah, basically just like we've got a desk and just some like living area items. And then this is the area that ladder will change to stairs because I could not get it to work no matter what I did. So that's stairs now. And yeah, the top floor, which is the only floor that is left, it is basically like not an office, I guess, but like kind of like a work area, maybe you could say. I put, I think it's the microscope I put up there, and I usually don't use that in my build because it's so big, but I went on and used it for this one. So that's up there. We've got like a chess table, another laptop kind of area, and that's basically it for this build. Yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, this build is kind of a mess, but let me know what you think in the comments. I still enjoy making builds, even if they turn into messes, because you get to, you learn a little bit and you kind of get to see things from a different perspective, I guess. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you again soon.